Luke, Roy's a friend of yours, right? I was hoping.
You mean Alan? Alan Quartermain.
I met him here a while back.
Who'd he off? A relative?
Do you really buy him as a killer?
I think under the right circumstances, anybody can kill.
Look, I think I have a handle on Roy, okay? I've been spending a lot of time with him lately, and he's hardly in the mindset to kill anybody.
Well, that brings us back to the little lady across the hall.
No. Her knee-jerk reaction when I showed up like this was to put in a call to the police.
Was that before or after she read you as a lady who, shall we say, doesn't date men in blue?
I made her swear not to get the cops involved.
Oh, honey, your faith in your fellow man is amazing. Your heart is too big to be on the street, girl.
This is going to sound stranger than fiction.
What, you saw a one-armed man fleeing the premises? Tammy, I think I know what you're going to say. You're afraid maybe you whacked the victim, right? I mean, you said you were completely out of it. You'll get no judgment from me, baby.
Hey, look. If I killed somebody, I'd have to have a pretty good reason, and right now I can't think of one right off the top of my head. I think I would remember.
Okay, all right. Who else was around?
Like I said, I was alone in the apartment.
Right, but this nice lady across the hall, where did she go to?
She had to split, but she did call Roy before she left.
Did you talk to Alan? Yourself? You didn't talk to him? How do you know that it was him on the phone? How do you know that it wasn't a fake? All right, baby. You're alone. There's a knock at the door. Take me back there.
I vaguely even remember going to the door. I don't even have a sense of who it was. I just had this really murky picture of Alan hovering over me.
Roy.
Right, telling me that everything was going to be okay, only he didn't say what everything meant. I don't think, and I don't think I asked. I could barely open my eyes, let alone talk.
You know, it sounds like maybe chloroform. This good Samaritan woman that so conveniently vanished, you think you'd recognize her if you saw her again?
This is where it gets really out there, Luke. Police Commissioner Scorpio, the Good Samaritan is his wife.
What?
You think I made it up? Look, she gave me her number, okay? Do you think I fell for a line?
No, babe. No. I've known Felicia Scorpio for a long, long time. She has a natural instinct for disaster.
Then you believe me, right?
Yes, I do.
And what would you do if you were me?
Hop a freighter to Costa Rica?
And leave Alan in jail?
Roy? No. Wow. Alan, Roy, listen. I think you should call Felicia. If she said she would keep the cops away from you, if she would keep you clear, I would take her at her word. She's okay. Yeah, do it. Call her. You have no other option. Go ahead. Do it.
Okay.
Thank God you called. I've been pulling my hair out. So what happened when I left?
Well, I'm not clear on that.
Apparently it involved a corpse.
Well, I know that. When did Alan get there? Did he come with a drug dealer or later?
Dealer?
With the dead guy. That's Alan's drug dealer, according to Mac. He died from a blow to the head. Were you Alan's alibi?
Oh, no way did Roy kill that guy.
Oh, great. This is like trying to put together a puzzle with half the pieces missing.
No, you got all your pieces.
How do you figure that?
Well, piece number one, you got a new regime on the docks. You got Moreno flexing his muscle. Piece number two, you got a dead drug dealer. That's just a minor sacrifice in the battle for control. This is a setup, ladies.
Oh, here we go again.
Where would Alan be set up?
No, it wasn't Alan. Alan just fell into a trap for a much larger piece of game.
Oh. Yeah, right, like a lowly hooker, for instance?
Oh, honey, you ain't lowly.
Then who?
Picture this. You're a crime lord in a new territory. You're flexing your muscle, as I say. Your only competition is out of the picture. Who do you go after? Law enforcement. You got a police commissioner on your tail, and you got a lovely wife of the police commissioner who likes to frequent Cortlandt Street.
Oh,
She's
God,
lovely.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Timmy was in my office.
Well, the next time you want office space, rent it at the ELQ building.
They set me up to get to Mac.
It looks that way. Felicia, in this grand opus that you seem to be creating for yourself here, I hear a couple of themes. Main line, contract murder. Then you got this light motif going of the mind-altering drugs.
Or was it drugged for recreational purposes?
You know, the police commissioner's wife in a chemical stupor in the company of a dead dealer. He's an incredible bargaining chip.
But if Roy found the body with me, why did he drag it away? Why didn't he just tell the police what happened?
Maybe he's protecting someone.
Somebody he cares about a lot.
What, you mean me? Hey, I didn't kill that guy.
Yeah, but Alan doesn't know that.
Oh, my God. He thinks I did it, doesn't he? And now he's in jail, probably strung out. How does a decent guy like Roy find himself in a mess like this?
If you got the time, I'll explain it to you.
This is really a crummy time for Mac to be leaving for Albany.
Hey, wait a minute. You promised no police.
That was when we were only dealing with a couple of bruises. Now we've got a murder case and a friend in jail.
Yeah, and we know he didn't do it.
Oh, so we're clear on that, right?
Well, I've been clear on it for about 10 chapters now. The question is, what are you going to do now? Are you going to let Roy take the fall?
Of course not.
Well, we don't have any choice. We have to go to Mac, unless you can think of something better.
Okay, look. Let me go see Roy first. Do you think they'll let me?
Probably, but it'll take some time. You can stay in my office if you want.
And wait for Marino's next message?
Well, you're welcome to hang out here. My track record for protection around this place is not very good. You know, I doubt that they would hit the same place twice.
Okay. Your office, then. But please, don't say anything to your husband until we decide, okay?
Okay.
Well, sounds like you got sort of a plan.
Thanks for figuring this out, Luke.
Anytime, baby. I just wish they were all this easy. Alicia, hi.
Hi. Thank God you called. I've been pulling my hair out. It's what happened when I left.
Well, I'm not clear on that.
Apparently it involved a corpse.
Well, I know that. When did Alan get there? Did he come with the drug dealer or later?
Dealer?
With the dead guy. That's Alan's drug dealer, according to Mac. He died from a blow to the head. Were you Alan's alibi?
Oh, no way did Roy kill that guy.
Oh, great. This is like trying to put together a puzzle with half the pieces missing.
No, you got all your pieces.
How do you figure that?
Well, piece number one, you got a new regime on the docks. You got Moreno flexing his muscle. Piece number two, you got a dead drug dealer. That's just a minor sacrifice in the battle for control. This is a setup, ladies.
Oh, here we go again.
Why would Alan be set up?
No, it wasn't Alan. Alan just fell into a trap for a much larger piece of game.
Oh. Yeah, right, like a lowly hooker, for instance?
Oh, honey, you ain't lowly.
Then who?
Picture this. You're a crime lord in a new territory. You're flexing your muscle, as I say. Your only competition is out of the picture. Who do you go after? Law enforcement. You got a police commissioner on your tail, and you got a lovely wife of the police commissioner who likes to frequent Cortlandt Street.
Oh,
She's
God,
lovely.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Timmy was in my office.
Well, the next time you want office space, rent it at the ELQ building.
They set me up to get to Mac.
It looks that way. Felicia, in this grand opus that you seem to be creating for yourself here, I hear a couple of themes. Main line, contract murder. Then you got this light motif going of the mind-altering drugs.
Or was it drugged for recreational purposes?
You know, the police commissioner's wife, in a chemical stupor, in the company of a dead dealer, it's an incredible bargaining chip.
But if Roy found the body with me, why did he drag it away? Why didn't he just tell the police what happened?
Maybe he's protecting someone.
Somebody he cares about a lot.
What, you mean me? Hey, I didn't kill that guy.
Yeah, but Alan doesn't know that.
Oh, my God. He thinks I did it, doesn't he? And now he's in jail, probably strung out. How does a decent guy like Roy find himself in a mess like this?
If you got the time, I'll explain it to you.
This is really a crummy time for Mac to be leaving for Albany.
Hey, wait a minute. You promised no police.
That was when we were only dealing with a couple of bruises. Now we've got a murder case and a friend in jail.
Yeah, and we know he didn't do it.
Oh, so we're clear on that, right?
Well, I've been clear on it for about 10 chapters now. The question is, what are you going to do now? Are you going to let Roy take the fall?
Of course not.
Well, we don't have any choice. We have to go to Mac, unless you can think of something better.
Okay, look. Let me go see Roy first. You think they'll let me?
Probably, but it'll take some time. You can stay in my office if you want.
And wait for Marino's next message?
Well, you're welcome to hang out here. My track record for protection around this place is not very good. You know, I doubt that they would hit the same place twice.
Okay. Your office, then. But please, don't say anything to your husband until we decide, okay?
Okay.
Well, sounds like you got sort of a plan.
Thanks for figuring this out, Luke.
Anytime, baby. I just wish they were all this easy.
Yeah, you're good at this game. Oh, let me tie your shoelace. Come here. One thing a soccer player has to keep her eye on is her shoelace. There you go. That and the ball. Ready? Go get it.
If you're the babysitter, you're fired.
No, I'm the brother. Son of the father that you killed on this day years ago.
Maybe you'd like to hear an accurate eyewitness account of how Stavros died. I was there. But out of the blackness of my heart, I don't think I'll tell you.
Daddy!
Hello, sweet pea. Hello, hello, hello. What's different about you? You got on your winter cheeks.
Guess what? Daddy's got something for you. You knew I would have something, didn't you?
Oh! He's not like Foster. He's soft and cuddly, and he doesn't stink.
Hi.
Hey, Peggy.
Peggy's so excited about Christmas. Oh, she wanted to know if your little sister could play on the swings.
You want to go play on the swings? Okay, sweetie. Daddy will wait right here. Have fun.
Great. We'll be on the little swings by the slide.
Okay. Where's your new neighbor? If you still had a home or any connection to the people who lived in it, she and her husband would live 2 doors down from you. She knows me, she knows Lucky, and they really seem to like Laura too, but they never mention anything about Leslie Lou's father. Probably because when there's something ugly or unhappy in a family, people tend to sense it and step away from it. They don't want to cause pain, you know? I'd be surprised if Laura ever hears your name anymore.
Good. Well, don't stop there. Tell me everything. Let's hear the state of life and parenthood according to the littlest Cassadine.
Some things have changed since you've been gone. You left your family to manage without you, and guess what they did? Laura decided not to be alone, and Lucky decided not to hate everyone. If it wasn't a mistake for you to leave, it was a mistake for you to come back because you destroyed everything that you had here, and all the Cassadines had to do was watch. Damn it, why didn't we think of that before?
Well, you're a pretty slow crowd. But this is nice. This bright, rosy picture that you paint of the inhabitants of Spoon Island Spa and Resort. There's the Cassadines and the Spencers, all in little hand-knitted sweaters, riding Shetland ponies side saddle into the sunset. There's my daughter, tied to some big-butted, tight-lipped nanny. There's my son sharing your tutor in the dirty translations from ancient Greece. And there's all these pictures of my wife hanging around everywhere while she snuggles up to the man you call Uncle, who raised you like a father. Gee, it's pretty. You're pathetic. You never question. Stefan, let's start with that. Who is the man you call Uncle Stefan?
Go ahead. You want to break my heart? Is that your goal in life? Then take your best shot. I mean, what does my uncle have, some dark, deep secret or something? What do you do, sleep with a chorus girl? Forget to return some library books to the world's most prominent universities? What? I mean, I'm sure there's no end to his villainy. Come on, Luke, tell me all about it.
What? Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was thinking of something important. The eggs are not quite an omelet yet, you see. The wine needs to stand and breathe. No, the temptation to fire on you is really great, considering the fact that you've become more arrogant and irritating than ever, but I think I should wait. I think it would be like squirrel hunting with a Scud missile, you know, noisy, messy, not much of a pelt left. I can get bigger bang for my buck.
Man, it's just like you. Just like you. It doesn't matter. You'll end up hurting the people that you're supposed to care about. Laura, Leslie Lou, even Lucky, are becoming a part of us now.
Oh, Nicholas, I'm so sorry. She lost it. That little stuffed dog she had. I was so busy watching them that I didn't see where she dropped it.
No, it's not a big deal. If you're on your way home, I'll walk with you. Sweetheart, I don't know if you're cold yet, but I sure...
Well, my baby, don't worry about that. Daddy'll stay here and find your doggy, okay? Okay? I'll see you later. You better get Nicky out of the cold before his nose starts running. Bye, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Bye, Peggy. So long, neighbor lady. Ciao, Nick.
What a coincidence. I was just chatting with your wife.
What a coincidence. I was just chatting with your son.
Snow off. There you go. How come Mom never has anything fun to eat around here, huh? Hey, where have you been, huh? Oh, we were at the park. Laura had some errands to run. With who?
Daddy.
Oh, Daddy. I guess we were just lucky, huh? Do you need help getting your shoes off? No? All right, well, why don't you go see Foster in the kitchen, huh? He's waiting for you. Go get Foster. So, what do you want? Luke? I think he was surprised to see me as I was to see him. Yeah, probably just as thrilled. That too. He has this annoying habit of just suddenly being there when you least want him to be. I don't know. And I really didn't want him to be there today. You probably don't remember. There's no reason why you should, but I was taught never to forget. Today's the day years ago your father killed my father.
Nicholas was just here. You missed him. Don't kids do the cutest things? He was trying to make a snowman out of this slush.
So cute. He rolled up a big, round, slushy head that sort of looked like yours. And the snowman said, "Uncle." And then he punched the snowman in the other side of his head, and the snowman said, "Father, uncle, father, uncle, father, uncle, father, uncle, father, uncle, father." Oh, come on. That's a great bit. You didn't see that movie, huh? God, you have no sense of humor whatsoever, do you? Nicholas was here. I have no idea what drove him off.
What did you say to my nephew?
The poker face won't work anymore, Stefan. The cows are out of the barn. Cat's out of the bag. The steam is off the clams. And ain't it a shame you were so close you could almost taste it, couldn't you? Just a couple of more years. And the pretender, your son, would be handed an empire that wasn't his and certainly isn't yours. And the others, Helena and Alexis, all the other inbreds, ooh, the joke would be on them, wouldn't it? It's good, Stefan. It's good. And it should have worked, and it could have worked. But you blew it. Because you could not stay away from the boy's mother. Could you?
Nothing you say can you prove.
That's the best you can do.
DNA testing was not available at the time of my brother's death. But the results of his blood and gene typing tests on record at General Hospital will certainly be found compatible with my nephew's.
That doesn't prove anything. That only shows that you've been diddling around again in the GH mainframe. And besides, people are not going to need scientific proof. People who are interested, when they hear this, they'll be just like me. They'll think about it, and they'll know it's true.
Perhaps if they heard it from someone other than Luke Spencer. But coming from you, the malice intended will be obvious. Your grand announcement will be dismissed as a lie, a paranoid historical fantasy.
And you've got it all figured out. Your mind, it's like Quicksilver. Whoa. So let's go find Nikki and test your theory.
Does it never embarrass you? The public crowing and braying you do? You don't mind it makes you seem clownish and impotent? You'll say nothing to Nicholas, and we both know it. You would no more tell him that I slept with Laura than you would tell him you sleep with a bottle of bourbon. Your pride won't allow it. No. I see nothing to stop Nicholas from claiming the family legacy.
Well, maybe you're right. You know, people have told me before that I should really try to assuage my clownish, impotent pride and embrace humility. But the hell with that. It'd be too much of a pleasure to see you lose the keys of the kingdom and to watch your son spit in your face. You see, I know how kids react when they walk into the closet and see the skeletons in there that belong to their father.
Then again, there is quite a difference between a young man learning his father is alive, at his side, and always has been, and learning that his father is a rapist.
So Liz went to Florida, huh? Yeah. Her grandmother took her to a spa to get her mind off things, you know. Yeah. Without even finding out what happened at the trial. Well, I think the main attraction was being as far away from it as she could get. And she didn't even want me to call her to fill her in. But I saved Dara's message about Tom being sent to prison in case she wanted to hear it. Laura said that she would be back before dark, but she probably forgot when that happened, so I thought as long as you're here that you could... Yeah. Well, I was planning on hanging out with Lulu, so go ahead. Yeah, I'm helping at the AIDS... Stone Kate's AIDS Memorial Wing there. Okay. Look, I didn't mean the way it sounded before, what I said about your father and mine. I wasn't there. We don't know what really happened. No, I think we do. It's pretty well documented. What do you mean, the version Luke told the newspapers? Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah, I only know the version my family told me. And they don't know what happened either, so I hope this doesn't, you know, change what we've kind of got, you know. Why should it? Lulu, wanna come say goodbye to Nikki? Whoa, whoa. It's one thing for her to say that, but you, I don't know. All right, see, here's my trick. Whenever you start getting too obnoxious, which happens a lot, I just think of all the ways you helped Emily and Elizabeth. Reminds me how you've changed, how you've grown. Oh, I've changed. I've grown. No, I think you have. No, I'm sorry. I'm just the same. Whatever you say, man. Say goodbye to Lulu for me, will you? Will do. Thanks.
You worship me, don't you? You filled every nook and cranny of your miserable, lonely brain with graven images of me. And in a way, it's flattering, really, to know that I'm the concept. I'm the icon that keeps you going. And hating me must have been a relief from hating yourself. And trying to do better than Luke Spencer came in handy after your big brother went to his reward. Didn't it? And ever since you found out about that night between me and Laura 20 years ago, you've been like a man holding onto a life raft. You've taken that knowledge out and looked at it and let its splendor fill the room. You've hoarded it like money. And then you made your move, and you thought that to have my son call me a rapist was going to destroy me. Well, I'm only partially bruised. Let's see what happens when your son calls you father. A name that would make most men proud. But in your case, it's a curse, isn't it? It's a curse because as soon as he calls you father, the whole house of unsent Father's Day cards comes falling down, and you lose everything. You lose the power, the prestige, the title, the properties, and the son in question.
Nicholas will not turn against me.
Really? You think my son felt betrayed? How do you think Nicholas is going to feel? My son felt betrayed because of 1 hour it was none of his business. Nicholas is going to have to deal with a whole lifetime of you spoon-feeding him fantasy, of you filling his veins with fake blood and making him celebrate bogus high holy days like this one. Of course, he'll hate your guts, but you can take comfort in the fact of knowing that his life expectancy will go way down as soon as Helena finds out that the kid she's been kowtowing to all these years is not her precious Stavros' son, but he's your spawn.
Do you really think you've caught me unaware or unprepared?
How do you prepare for the end of your world as you know it?
Have you never played chess, Luke? No. Why would it interest you? A game without tackling and noisemakers. Perhaps that's why you don't realize I have you in checkmate, and have had for some time. Either way you move, you lose. You remain silent, and Nicholas will get his empire. And he will keep this day, every year, in remembrance of my brother. Or tell the secret, and the woman you love will turn her back on you and come to me.
What's going on?
You tell me. What is this, your secret meeting place when the plumbing's backed up at Spook Island?
I was supposed to meet Nicholas here with Leslie Liu. What happened?
What do you mean, what happened? Do you see blood in the snow? Listen, if you're trying to drive me over the top, leaving my daughter alone with a Cassadine out here is a real good start.
The child was in her brother's care.
Stop it. Just stop it. You know something? I don't care how the two of you happen to be here together or what the issue is or who thinks he's right. I just want to know where my children are.
They're at that lump of plywood and rubber cement we used to call the family home.
Great, thanks. Okay. Well, you know, feel free to go back to whatever manly feat is going to decide who the winner of the day is. You know something? I am sick to death of both of you. I am sick to death of the constant combat, and I don't care if you scorch the ground from here to Canada, but don't you dare make a casualty of any of my children. I want no part of this.
No part of it, Laura. You are this.
I'm sorry.
I should have never said anything to you.
Why not? It's a difficult day for you.
Catherine, I grew up with everything, okay? I don't know what it's like to be cold. I don't know what it's like to be hungry or homeless. I have no right to feel sorry for myself
You
right
were
now.
not. You were mourning your father.
How can you mourn over someone that you never knew, huh? I mean, I know that sounds cold, but you know what I'm talking about more than anyone.
Actually, our situation's very different. You always knew who your father was, you just didn't know him. I always knew Avery, I just never knew that he was my father.
How did you feel when you found out?
You know, we're not talking about me. Didn't Helena tell you about him? What he was like, what your father stood for? I know how much you loved him.
She said that he was strong, magnetic, and brilliant. She never gave much in the way of examples. I mean, her stories were mostly about Count so-and-so and how his mother had something to do with the queen of some place and how he once threw himself at my father's feet or left the room in humiliation. I used to try and picture my father having these triumphs. But every time I would see my uncle. I mean, I could see people throwing themselves at his feet, you know. I'll never know why he thought I deserved it. I mean, he did everything that a father could have done for me. And now he's even given me my mother back.
Just handwriting. I am giving Nicholas the mother he deserves.
I am not responsible for the relentless, grinding warfare between the two of you. I've begged and pleaded with both of you. I've done everything in my power to end it.
Except the one thing that might work.
Which is what, Luke?
Make a choice, Laura. Is that an ability you've lost or conveniently misplaced? Look, you had 2 sons with 2 men, and you kept one of them in the dark about it. That was your choice. But you want it both ways. You want to step in and out of these lives like they're a change of clothes, and I'm sure that's very fulfilling for you. And then you could just weep at the injustice when somebody dares to say, Laura, you're only half here.
My God. What did I do to deserve that?
Is he wrong?
Yes.
If you had gone with him just now, it would have made an end.
How could I do that? He made it impossible. I didn't want to go with him.
If you go with me now, it will also make an end. Is he wrong?
I just had an extended conversation with your ex-husband, Stephen Cassadine. I want you to be careful and stay away from the whole crowd, all of them. including Nicholas.
Why? What are you going to do?
I'm taking him down. All the way down.
Nicholas!
What did he do this time? I'll never know why he thought I deserved it. I mean, he did everything that a father could have done for me. And now he's even giving me my mother back.
I am giving Nicholas the mother he deserves. I saw your handwriting on a note with her invitation. I'm giving Nicholas the mother he deserves. I think you wanted to hurt her. I think you wanted to hurt her back. No. For marrying your brother. For marrying Luke. But what sense does it make? How can you give Nicholas a new mother in this? Oh, God. Oh, God. You and Laura. That's a secret that you've been keeping all these years.
Catherine, nothing matters anymore but the two of us. You and I. That's all. Catherine, please. Just let me explain.
What do you both want from me? What do you want?
Oh. What's wrong? What happened?
Lucky, what are you doing here?
I'm just looking after Lulu. She's upstairs.
I thought that Nicholas was looking after her.
He had to go to work. He said he's helping Catherine Bell plan a fundraiser for his
Oh, yeah,
daughter.
I heard about that from...
So, anyway, I told him to take off, that I'd stay here with Lulu till you got back.
Okay, well, whatever the reason, it's always good to see you.
Is something wrong?
No. Nothing new anyway. Just fighting with your father again. Like I said, it's really nothing new.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm scared, Lucky. Your father and I have never been further apart.
You'll probably work things out. You always do, right?
You've been away a long time. A lot has changed, Lucky. That's it. My God.
You all right? What?
It's just so incredibly clear. I can't believe that I could have ever forgotten it.
What?
Oh, Nicholas,
Do you want me to get you a glass of water?
No,
or something?
I need you right here. I just need you to stay here. I have to piece this together.
Oh my
I
God,
have
you're
to
shaking.
be
What
sure.
is it, sweetheart? What is it? Tell me.
I just remember.
What do you remember? What'd you remember?
Everything. Stefan and Laura.
Laura, you saw her on the parapet, right?
Yes.
Did she make you fall? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No,
here? Catherine, give it to me straight, okay? Make it real. We'll go from there.
No, I'm acting like such a baby.
No,
Sorry.
you're not. You're obviously remembering something terrible here. Now, what is
No,
it?
it wasn't that bad. It's not that bad. I just need a little getting used to it, that's all. It's just having a repressed memory come crashing back with no preparation. You have to understand, Nicholas, all these months, a part of my past was as unknown to me as the future, except for this vague sense of something awful that I couldn't grab onto.
Well, would it help you to tell me about whatever it is coming back to you?
You already know, because you were there.
Catherine, you have to tell me the truth, okay? All right? If my mother had something to do with your fall, then I need to know about that.
Your mother's appearance was quite a surprise, but Laura's not to blame for my fall.
Right.
And I'm not saying that just to spare you, although that would be an excellent reason.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I couldn't imagine that you...
I know Laura's return in your life has been very important. And I'm glad that she came back to Port Charles. It couldn't have been easy for you not to have a mother growing up.
Not any harder for you not to have a father in yours.
I've often wondered what my life would be like if I had. Don't you?
Sure.
What if someone told you that you had two parents? That your father never died?
Here, I made you a sandwich just the way you like it.
Oh, thank you. And what about you?
Oh, I already ate. I have to go anyway, so.
Do you really have to go so soon?
Well, I got stuff to do. Just came by to visit Lulu. Does Nicholas take care of her by himself a lot these days?
They were only alone in the park together for a very, very short time, and I thought that maybe...
Mom. It's okay.
Well, unfortunately, not everyone shares that point of view.
Well, hey, I'm not everybody. Neither is Nicholas. And everyone is just gonna have to get used to it. Both of them.
I'm so glad to hear you say that.
Oh, no matter what else is going on, it's so nice to hear that you and Nicholas have come to some kind of an understanding with each other that works for both of you.
Well, but the whole Spencer-Cassadine war started before either of us were born. And we're not gonna try to unravel it. We just wanna be sure Lulu's okay.
She will be, especially with the two of you looking out for her.
I have to go.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
Hey. Do you feel like testing this shaky bridge between us? I'd sort of like to talk to you for a minute. Can I sit?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, that's not the most enthusiastic reception I ever received, but it beats the hell out of a night in a wolf trap. How you doing, cowboy? You keeping out of trouble, or are you having fun?
Can't have both. I was just visiting Lulu. I saw Mom.
Did she tell you that I found Lulu alone in the park with Nicholas Cassadine?
Yeah, it must have been quite a party, huh? Father, my sister, my brother. When I was growing up, I used to imagine it now and then. Mother never left me, a father who never died. I still do sometimes.
And?
And then I don't. There's really no point to it. I mean, the life I ended up with isn't so bad, you know?
Well, considering it brought you into mine, I certainly don't have any complaints. But are your feelings really that manageable? Have you never longed for a conventional childhood, one with two parents?
No, not Not really. I mean, everybody in America wants that, but I grew up in Europe where uncommon arrangements aren't that uncommon.
But I know that you always longed for Laura.
Yeah. Yeah, I hated the fact that she left me for the man who killed my father, but not because I was unhappy with my life. My uncle was all the father I ever needed.
Do you know this is the second time you've referred to Nicholas as your brother?
Guess I wasn't counting.
Well, I am. And if there's any connection at all, it's strictly biological.
It's more of a family matter. I mean, I heard that word so much growing up, so did Nicholas. And can you blame us for taking it seriously?
You are going to use the words Nicholas and family in the same breath to
Why
me?
not? Why should Nicholas and I be at each other's throats just because you and Stefan are?
Look, he's a Cassadine.
It's just a name.
It's a name that means you can never trust him.
Well, I already have. And you know what? He came through, Dad. Didn't even have to think twice. Now, I'm not saying we're bonded to the death or anything. All right, I don't know how it's gonna be. But I can say it's just like Mom said. He's not Stefan, and I'm not you.
It's ironic, isn't it?
What?
Just when you're about old enough to take your place at the head of the family. It's at the very moment that you're wondering just how much being a prince matters.
I'm the eldest son of the eldest son. It's my job whether I want it or not. When I was growing up, I was too busy preparing for it to even ask myself if it's what I really wanted. And now most of my life, it's about obligation to others. There's a power that comes with that some people envy, but power is heady. You know who I envy?
Who?
Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah,
He's a charming boy, but
Lucky. He can and does whatever he wants. You know, he lived in a boxcar for a little while. Can you believe that?
I can't imagine it wanting to.
The freedom. The opportunity to make choices without having to answer to anyone. And if anything, Lucky answers to Liz, and that's because he chooses to.
Okay. Suppose somebody could make this legacy disappear. Would you be willing to walk away from it?
Not from the best part, my uncle. It's the true wealth in my life. As for the rest of me, I am what I am, you know. Which reminds me, I gotta go.
Really?
Yeah, my uncle hired a tutor for me on international finance, and I'm meeting him tonight for the first time. You be all right here?
Absolutely. I can't tell you how much it meant having you come by.
Even though I talked your head off all night.
I loved it.
I'll call you, okay? Bye. Look, if Nicholas did want revenge against the Spencers, he has his reasons.
Is that so?
You killed his father.
Well, actually, I can't take full credit for that blessed event. A lot of it was just dumb luck. But if the kid wants to give me all the kudos, I'm flattered. Stavros was this close
He
to...
was gonna rape Mom.
Yeah. One of life's little ironies, huh?
So you figure you had the right to avenge her. Guess I would have too.
I take care of my family, cowboy. I always have. That means I protect them from danger by any means I think is necessary. Danger is the Cassadines. That won't change. And don't expect me to change, because you've been duped into brotherhood with one of them.
Okay. But if you want a truce between us, you gotta stop expecting me to fight your battles. I mean, you can't expect me to hate somebody just because you do. You can't.
I don't expect you to hate them for my reasons. You just hang on. They'll give you plenty of reasons of your own. And I say that with complete confidence. Thanks for the chat.
Well, Catherine, you should bundle up more. I went to a great deal of trouble to keep you alive. I wouldn't want you coming down with that dreadful flu virus.
I understand from Nicholas this is the anniversary of his father's death.
For which I have yet to properly thank Luke Spencer.
I know Stavros was your favorite.
The man who rules our family now doesn't even succeed in parody. But Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas. Sometimes when I look at him, he so reminds me of his father. My dear boy Stavros. He already has his father's handsome face and proud bearing. Soon he will have his power and wealth as well.
And you will too, through Nicholas.
A young man needs guidance. Nicholas can scarcely expect that from the weak thing that raised him. You know, it's amazing that my grandson has turned out as well as he has. But he does have Stavros's blood in his veins.
How fortunate for you that the Cassadine heir would be the child of your favorite son and not the other one.
What do you mean by that?
Merely that Nicholas is the key to the family treasury. Is that all he means to you? Do you care about Nicholas as a person? Or simply as the prince?
Why do you care? You know, Catherine, I don't really appreciate having my feelings for Nicholas called into question. I will remind you that you and I share an agenda, no less than Stefan's destruction. If Nicholas is the means to that end, so be it. Who's to say? Maybe we're doing him a favor.
Nicholas is very devoted to Stefan.
Yes.
I think that you should know there's a part of Nicholas that so much wants to be free of his family's legacy. He realizes the good fortune he has, of course. But he's young, and ordinary freedoms are much more appealing than a lifetime of obligation.
Ah, that is quite an assumption on your part.
I'm just telling you what Nicholas told me.
Well, you two are getting close. Congratulations, my dear. However did you manage that?
It's no great mystery. I seem to be the only person in Nicholas's life that doesn't see him as a pawn.
So you're not cultivating Nicholas's affection for you as a means to get back at Stefan?
I would hope not.
But you do know that Stefan would be destroyed if he were to lose Nicholas to anyone. Tell me, Catherine, have you discovered a way to do that?
Oh man, look at this. I've walked into my favorite horror movie. The undead meets back from the dead. Bummer. No popcorn.
Luke, my darling, I heard you were back. We've missed your charming company.
Oh, thank you, my dear. I'm flattered.
Now, you've missed many fascinating events since you've been gone.
Yeah, so I hear, beginning with the reanimation of Miss Bell. Welcome back to the land of the undead and the walking wounded.
Thank you.
Resurrection's quite a trick. I stand in awe.
It was no trick and no fun, I assure you.
Well, for having been dead, you look good.
All the credit goes to Helena. I have her to thank for saving my life and giving me this rare opportunity. Not every murder victim gets to come face to face with her killer.
Nicholas,
missed your dinner. Is everything all right?
Yeah, I must have lost track of time or something.
I can understand why you would be distracted. Today is the anniversary of your father's death. And confronting the man who killed him must have been difficult at best.
How did you know I was with Luke today?
I had the misfortune of encountering him myself.
There was a time in my life, especially on this day, when facing Luke would have been difficult. But this time it was different.
In what way?
What Luke did to my father didn't disturb me as much as it energized me to go against him. I told him that he was about to lose everything.
That is an accurate prediction, to be sure. Nicholas, I understand that you're capable of taking care of yourself. But again, I urge you not to be careless where Spencer is concerned.
You can't hurt me, you don't have to worry.
But I do. Once Spencer realizes he's about to lose his family, he'll want to harm those he feels are responsible. And that includes you.
And was the hardest. You'd think, having already done it once, it would have been a snap. But apparently it's not like, say, riding a bike.
No, it isn't. I had to do it once, I know. Near-death experiences can be exhilarating, or they can be a real drag. I seem to remember telling you not to hang out with the Cassadines.
And you were right. You did warn me how dangerous it was to be with the Cassadines. But I didn't listen. I guess I had to learn it the hard way. I backed into the trap that you set for Stefan.
Right, murderer. Wrong victim. Luke loosened the parapet railing, but his intended target was me.
Oh, Elena, darling. Paranoia doesn't suit you.
As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't much matter who Luke was trying to kill. The point is, I'm the one that fell. But I guess that I should be grateful. At least it freed me from Stefan.
Spencer is desperate. We must take every precaution to ensure your safety.
Have you instructed security to hire more guards?
That won't be enough. I want you to stay away from Lucky.
Why?
Spencer resents your relationship with his son. Please, stay clear of him.
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
And why not?
Because Lucky and I have agreed to work with each other to protect Leslie Lou.
From her father?
From whatever's going on with her father, Laura, and yourself.
I see. I was under the impression that you approved of my efforts to draw Laura closer to us.
Not if they hurt my sister.
Nicholas, I know how much Leslie Lou means to you. I would never put her in jeopardy.
I know you wouldn't do that intentionally, but given what we've seen so far, we have to make sure.
We? So you and Lucky are acting as a team now?
No, we're acting as brothers. To each other and to Leslie Lou. No matter what happens between you, Luke, and Laura, we won't allow that to affect how we deal with each other.
You were raised with few companions. I always knew that you longed for a close friend and hoped that someday you would find one. That it turns out to be Lucky Spencer is an irony I can only observe with amazement.
Lucky and I have some things in common. We understand each other. At least we're beginning to anyway.
Well then, the choice is yours.
Thank you.
I will, however, offer a word of caution. The difficulties Laura, Luke, and I experience do not occur within a vacuum. You're more involved than you know.
Sounds to me like there's something you're not telling me.
No.
If there is, I'd rather hear it from you, Uncle. So at least I know the truth.
Nicholas, I only meant that Luke Spencer knows how much you mean to me. Nothing would give him greater pleasure than to destroy someone I love.
When you say destroy, you mean kill?
There are other ways to destroy a person, Nicholas. And Luke would resort to any of them.
Well, that won't happen. I have her secret weapon.
Which is?
You.